So I don't know if you knew this, but only a small people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So with that being said, let's get into the video. What is going on today, guys? AU here, and today we are bringing you back with the BBL. I'm the coach of your Atlanta Braviaries, and right now we are sitting at 4-0, second overall in the league, first overall in our division. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared that that's gonna change this week. We are facing off against Quack and the Washington Wishy-Washies, and he's got a rain team. And when I was brainstorming about this team, I didn't really think that it was gonna be a huge issue, but then I actually sat down, pulled up my team building doc, and started looking at it, and I realized that my matchup against this team is actually pretty trash. Now, you would normally think that with a team of Melmetal, Primarina, and Thwacky, you would do pretty well against Rain team. Like Thwacky actually, like I was sitting there thinking, Thwacky should probably go in this matchup. And then I sat down and I realized he has Zapdos, Buzzwole, Skuntank, and Ferrothorn. Like, this dude has covered his Thwacky weaknesses to the maximum, to the point where if I bring Thwacky, it's almost a dead slot. Buzzwole is a big issue because even lycanroc-dusk doesn't do anything to Buzzwole. Lycanroc-dusk doesn't really do anything to Ferrothorn outside of CC, but that doesn't even kill. Like, I have to have chip on it first to get it to kill. And then obviously Static and Iron Barbs is just like a really annoying combo to deal with, especially for Melmetal, because usually against rain teams, what I like to do with Melmetal is bring the sub iron defense body press set, because you really can take advantage of Ferrothorn. Like, if Ferrothorn's in, I can sub on Ferrothorn and be max defense Melmetal, sub on Ferrothorn, get an iron defense up, and then be able to wall Barraskewda and wall like Buzzwole and stuff. But with him having Zapdos and Kingdra also, and Jolteon, you know, being able to break the subs and stuff, like, it's just not great. Plus, you add Zapdos on top of that with Static, and Body Press isn't doing a lot to Zapdos, and at the same time, Double Iron Bash isn't doing a lot to Zapdos, and you don't want to click Double Iron Bash on a Ferrothorn. So, like, this matchup is so difficult because the combination of Zapdos, Buzzwole, Ferrothorn check almost everything on my team. Primarina can't touch Ferrothorn. Melmetal can't touch Zapdos, except for like Ice Punch and stuff. But you know, if we bring that set, then Ferrothorn's a pretty safe switch in at that point. And then even Buzzwole, like Buzzwole's a really good answer to Melmetal. You bring Rocky Helmet Buzzwole with Roost, and like you kind of just wall Melmetal to no end. He's got Aromatisse for Hydreigon. He's got Buzzwole and Ferrothorn and Zapdos for me and Shao. He's got Buzzwole and Ferrothorn for the lycanroc-dusk. Like, even Banded Play Rough does like 40% to max defense Buzzwole. It's kind of stupid. He's got, what's my other offensive Pokemon? He's got all three Zapdos, Buzzwole, Ferrothorn for Thwacky. Nidoking is not coming to a rain matchup. Moltres is not coming to a rain matchup. Like, this is so difficult for our team because it's actually like forcing me into a way to play, and that's kind of what weather does, which I get, but I don't know, it's tough. It's tough because of the three. Like, if he only had two of the three, I wouldn't see as much of an issue, but I can almost guarantee you that the six that are coming into this game are Zapdos, Buzzwole, Ferrothorn, Barraskewda, Kingdra, Politoed. Like, that's all he needs, because he can check my offense with the top three, and then I can't check his offense of the bottom three, especially Barraskewda. Barraskewda is like stupid in this matchup. Even Liquidation in the Rain or Waterfall in the Rain, whatever he's running, is going to do over half to Primarina, so like Primarina can't even be a switch in. But we'll get into what set we have, hopefully, that will work for Barraskewda a little bit later. I will also say that I was watching my video back from last week, and I was not happy with like the commentary and stuff. I felt like I was kind of kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. So hold on, I'm fixing the layout real quick. I felt like I was kind of boring and I wasn't really offering a lot during the gameplay part of it. I felt like the team builder was fine, but I wasn't offering too much during the gameplay, and it's just because I was really focused. So I'm opting this week for a post-com. Let me know if you like live com or post-com better, especially if you've been watching the whole season, because I know I've done a couple post-com, a couple live com, and I'm still trying to figure out which one is better, entertainment wise and information wise. So just let me know which one you like better. But we're gonna start out with the Melmetal here, and you've seen the set I've had on the screen for a couple minutes now. We are bringing Body Press Substitute Toxic Protect, and this is a toxic set. No pun intended. It's a very stalling Melmetal set, but this set is to beat the combination of Zapdos and Ferrothorn if he doesn't bring Buzzwole. I kind of hope he doesn't bring Buzzwole, but we'll see. So with this set, max defense Melmetal takes max 25 from max defense Ferrothorn Body Press, which means he has the possibility to not break sub. And at the same time, max defense Melmetal deals, I think, 33 min to max defense Ferrothorn with its Body Press. So we can win that 1v1. And at the same time, if we get behind the sub, then Barraskewda has to break our sub. Like, something has to break our sub before he can get in his breaker to kill the Melmetal. And if Zapdos comes in, we can toxic protect sub, toxic protect sub until that thing's dead. Now if Buzzwole's around, it's going to be a little harder because Buzzwole always breaks sub, and yeah, it's kind of dumb. But hopefully he doesn't bring Buzzwole and this set works. This is about as good of a Melmetal set as I think I can get without being punished by Iron Barbs and Static too terribly much and Rocky Helmet. But we'll see how it goes. Next is kind of our win con, kind of not. I don't really know exactly what the win con is here. I almost feel like I don't have one. Like, that's how bad this matchup feels like to me. But we're bringing Scarf Prim. This outspeeds Zapdos and anything below it's not scarfed. It never outspeeds Jolteon, and it never outspeeds Barraskewda. Even Barraskewda outside of the rain never outspeeds it. It just can't. But this can deal a lot of damage in the rain to Zapdos, to Buzzwole. It can't touch Ferrothorn, like, at all. It naturally walls Kingdra, which is good. And then we have Energy Ball for like Politoed and stuff. So I feel like this is a pretty good set. We kind of just need to position this. This is here to punish Buzzwole for the most part. If Ferrothorn's around, we're gonna have to make some doubles, because like Ferrothorn should always come in on this thing. I feel like this thing just can't, it can't touch Ferrothorn even with its best coverage moves. You know, like Ferrothorn actually walls every single coverage move that Prim gets. It walls its water moves, its grass moves, its fairy moves, its psychic type moves. I don't even know anything else it gets, but like it walls any natural coverage that Prim can put on its set. So Ferrothorn should always be the switch into this thing every single time. Which is why we have flip turn, because if Ferrothorn does come in, we can read that switch on a flip turn, and we'll take some Iron Barbs damage, but that's not like the end of the world. And then we can position our Mienshao or our Lycanroc around his Ferrothorn. Next, we have a Nasty Plot Hydreigon. This is kind of to take advantage of the Jolteon and the Skuntank and the Politoed. Politoed could have Ice Beam, which like could be an issue, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. It's kind of it's pretty difficult. It's also here for like the Gothorita, because Gothorita is a little annoying. We don't want it to trap our Licky Licky, because Licky Licky is actually really important in this match. And Gothorita could definitely trap it and toxic it and do all kinds of stupid stuff to it. So, or trap it in Parasong. Like we just don't want that to happen. So this is here to kind of scare that away too. With Draco, Flash Cannon, Dark Pulse, Nasty Plot, we're outspeeding something. I built this team a couple days ago. I don't really remember. We're outspeeding something. Just know we're outspeeding the thing that we need to. I feel like I say that a lot in my team builders, but we are. Next, we have Assault Vest Mienshao. This is kind of like a soft check to Jolteon. Jolteon can never KO this set because of the AV. Then we have Close Combat, Stone Edge, Poison Jab, U-Turn. I wanted to be able to switch moves, and I didn't want Life Orb Chip, so Assault Vest is what we're going for. This does like 70 to max defense Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn's a stupid issue in this matchup because I can't bring Moltres. If I could bring Moltres to this match, it wouldn't be that much of an issue, obviously, because it just really can't touch Moltres. And we would have that fire coverage. I'd also be able to put fire coverage on Hydreigon and be able to deal with it that way. But like, it's so annoying not being able to bring the stuff that actually do well against his defensive Pokemon because of the rain aspect. So we have Poison Jab for the Aromatisse, we have Stone Edge for the Zapdos. We'll have to make some reads there because this really does not need to get paralyzed. Like if this gets paralyzed, it's almost guaranteed game over for me, I feel like. And then U-Turn just for pivoting and stuff. Like the thing is though, Buzzwole still again always switches into this thing, and I can't, like, I could run Acrobatics, but I don't know. I feel like if I have to run something like that, I would want to save it for a playoffs game. Because the thing is, we've got 4 wins already, and if we just win about 2 more games, I think we're like guaranteed playoffs. And it would be nice to be top 2 in the division, because then we get a bye out of like the first pigtail matches. But at the same time, I don't really mind playing in those pigtail matches, I don't think. It just depends. We'll have to see how like the rest of the season plays out. But like I said, I feel like this team is going to be a playoffs team, and I feel like I could definitely run into this team again. So I don't want to bring too much that is going to really help my matchup too much, because of the fact that the matchup is so bad and playoffs are best 2 out of 3. So I don't want to reveal everything now and then still have to play a possible 3 more games. So we're kind of trying to hold back a little bit. It might bite us in the butt, but we'll see. And then we've got the lycanroc-dusk. I went through a bunch of different items on this thing. I had Choice Band at one point, I had Life Orb at one point with Swords Dance. I opted for protective pads. I also took Swords Dance off and put Stone Edge back on. This Lycanroc set is really hard because of static iron barbs. At least with protective pads, I can click Excel Rock and Close Combat as much as I want. And I also don't have to worry about Rocky Helmet. Like, the protective pads really help, but at the same time, missing out on that damage is so like big for Lycanroc. So we've got to get Chip on his team somehow. And like I said, Play Rough just does 0 to Buzzwole. Again, Buzzwole just walls another one of our physical Pokemon. Like, that Pokemon is so annoying to deal with, and I don't know, maybe when I play this team again, Moltres does come to semi deal with Ferrothorn and Buzzwole. But it's just so hard. It's so hard with Rain. And then last we have another really weird set. I feel like this team has made me bring really weird sets. We have Chople Berry Licky with Counter, Toxic, Wish, and Protect. Another toxic set. Like, my goal with Licky is to click Toxic, click Wish, click Protect. We have Cloud9, and we do straight up wall. We actually have a check to his special Pokemon. We have a check to Kingdra, we have a check to Zapdos, we have a check to Jolteon, and we have a check to Politoed. Because with Cloud9, they don't get 100% Hurricanes, they don't get boosted water moves, they don't get 100% Thunders or Weather Ball. So like, we actually have a check to his special Pokemon, which is pretty big. Outside of that, we've got Chople for the potential close combat on Barraskewda or close combat on Buzzwole, because getting rid of one of those things is going to be significant in this matchup. If he doesn't expect the Chople Berry and I'm able to pull off a counterplay and get rid of Buzzwole, get rid of Barraskewda, either one of those being gone is huge, because if Barraskewda's gone, Licky walls his whole special core, and at the same time doesn't die to a close combat from Buzzwole if I'm at full. So then I can even counter again on the Buzzwole. So hopefully that works. And then we're also pretty free to Toxic anything once we switch in on Politoed or we switch in on the Zapdos or the Jolteon or whatever, because it's just they don't do enough damage to force Licky Licky out. So they're gonna have to switch to something physical, or they just sit there and get wish stalled and toxic. But that's the team. I'm not super confident about it, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. This team has really put me in the spot. But with that, I will catch you guys in the battle. All right, we're here in the battle, and let's just jump right into it. So we see his team of basically the exact six that I called out: Politoed, Barraskewda, Zapdos, Kingdra, Buzzwole, Ferrothorn. So we've got to play around the Zapdos, Buzzwole, and Ferrothorn pretty heavily, which is going to really limit the way that we're able to play this game. And I opted to lead Hydreigon because I felt like if he led Politoed, I could just get a nasty plot off and kill something, or just even drop a Draco on something and deal with the team that way. But he ends up leading Barraskewda, which is a good lead because he just hits everything on my team. CC, Poison Jab, CC, anything that is physical, because I have like 60 in HP and defense. Water or CC, water move or CC, and CC. So like he just hits my whole team, and we knew that in the beginning. Barraskewda's coverage is kind of stupid, but he does opt to switch, which was weird to me. I feel like you just kind of either flip turn or fire off a CC. He must have been scared of the Scarf Hydreigon. And then he goes on Politoed, and we doubled into Prim just in case he did flip turn. And this is kind of where the game already goes badly for me, because he clicks Whirlpool, and as you knew in the team builder, we are scarfed, and I opted to click Moonblast. Like if I clicked Energy Ball here, then we wouldn't be in as bad of a position, but I felt like, I don't know, I also could have flip turned, but I was so sure Ferrothorn was going to come in, and I was just gonna kind of try to play around it once it got in. But then he stayed in with Politoed and clicked Whirlpool, and I could have just clicked Energy Ball, which is weird to me. But he does click Whirlpool, and then he goes through the next couple turns of we basically need a crit. He clicks Parasong, he clicks Rest. You know what's gonna happen. He switches out, and we're stuck in here because we were choiced, and it kind of screwed us over a little bit because now we don't have a great way to deal a lot of damage to his team. So I have to go in to Lycanroc here. I could have went into me and Shao, but I didn't want Zapdos to really come in because I don't have switch into Zapdos. So I figured that I'd go Lycanroc and just hope that he was Spin Def. He wasn't. He was Fizz Def, like he probably should have been. And then he body presses, he kills Lycanroc, we go into Hydreigon, we Dark Pulse. Then he goes back into Barraskewda. We don't have switch-ins again. I basically just have to let this thing die. And then I have to bluff the Scarf Mienshao here. At this point, it's almost just like I'm only playing for differential. Like, this game went downhill so quickly that I know I can't win at this point. After Prim went down, I knew I couldn't win this game. So I'm just fighting for differential. I'm fighting to not get 5-0'd or 6-0'd or 4-0'd. So he does go into the Buzzwole here, which checks our Mienshao super well. He kind of just gets to click. If he was CC, he kind of just got to click CC 3 times, but he was Drain Punch, so didn't do too much to Melmetal here. He goes into Politoed, obviously, because we can't Toxic it. I think I subbed here. Yeah, I sub here. But Volt Switch does enough to break sub, so I had to try to read the toxic turns and the sub turns. I was trying to toxic Zapdos there, because getting a toxic off on Zapdos would have been really nice. We just protect, you get some leftovers of recovery, we go Drain Punch. I think we sub here. Yeah, we sub here. So he's taking toxic damage, he goes back into Zapdos, he breaks the sub with Volt Switch. We kind of just repeat this pattern over and over and over. He goes into Politoed, we sub, we get a body press, I toxic, expecting Zapdos to come in. But Zapdos didn't come in, Buzzwole comes back in, we get the body press off, we get the protect off. He was Rocky Helmet, so we also called the Rocky Helmet Buzzwole. We go for sub there, expecting him to Drain Punch, and I wanted to get behind another sub. We protect, he goes for Volt Switch, so he's gonna break our sub again. Then do we click body press here? Oh, he clicks parasong. So we click body press there. The polytoad, I think, rest here. Yeah, polytoad rests, gets back to full. Buzzwole comes in, click body press, polytoad comes back out. We have to switch here into me and Shao, and then Zapdos comes in, click CC. Luckily we don't get staticked. And since I bluffed the scarf, I was pretty sure that he was going to stay in here because we bluffed the scarf on the Barraskewda earlier, and we still haven't revealed that we're not scarf. So I just hope that I hit the Stone Edge. We do hit the Stone Edge, we get rid of the Zapdos, so we don't get 5-0'd. But then Barraskewda comes in, it's able to kill this thing with close combat. And then I was trying to get cheeky and get another kill with Licky here. I'm really surprised that he didn't click CC, if I'm being completely honest. He switched out, and then we revealed the counter tech. So I was almost gonna toxic there. Like, in my head I was thinking if he does switch and we reveal counter, then that's gonna be kind of lame. But at the same time, if I don't counter here and he does click CC, then I just lose outright. So it's one of those plays where, is it more beneficial to click the option that guarantees you another differential, or click the option that might put you back in the game? And I feel like if we click toxic here, we might have been put back in the game. It's not 100% sure because he was Perish Trap, rest Polytoad. But who knows? I don't know. I think the better play was just trying to get the differential there, because like I said earlier, we kind of just outright lost this game once Prim went down. So just fighting for differential is kind of where we're at in this match right now. And you can see that Specs Kingdra damage. He can't touch the Licky. We get the toxic off, we get the wish back. We wish again, I think, and he's not even doing enough to kill us here. So we got to try to toxic, or well, I protected just because I can't do anything to this Polytoad with this Licky because we only have counter. It's so dumb. But we hard switch out, we go into me and Shao, he goes into Buzzwole, we can't touch Buzzwole. Had to hope for like a crit or something, didn't happen. Even a crit only did 23, so like crit wouldn't have mattered. Sokka comes back in, can't touch the Polytoad, all he has to do is Perish Song, and the game is pretty much over. So yeah, it was kind of tough, not gonna lie. I was not super happy with how it played out. I felt really annoyed by the fact that I guessed the 6 that were coming, and I guessed the sets that were coming, and I still couldn't do anything about it, even though I prepped for it. I don't feel like my prep was bad. I think my prep was good considering the matchup, but it was like I was telling KJ afterwards, I was like, it's a little annoying that it's such a bad matchup that I guess the 6 that are coming with their sets, and I prep for only those 6, and I still can't do anything about it. But I mean, that's the game. Sometimes you run into that and into those matchups, no matter how, you know, busted your team is, you're always gonna have a bad matchup somewhere. So that's week 5. We are no longer undefeated. I think this puts us second in our division, because this is actually gonna move him to first, because he'll be 4-1 plus 11, and I'm 4-1 plus 9. So he'll be first and I'll be second, which isn't horrible. He's a good player, and he definitely really did have the matchup in this game. But hopefully we'll be able to bounce back. Maybe he'll lose a game or 2 in the future, and that'll put us back in first. But we're kind of only focused on top 2. We just want to get out of that week 1 playoff game. We just want to get past that bye. We want to get that bye into straight into round 2. So it's not the end of the world. We just kind of need to win out the rest of the games, and we should be fine. But that is where I'm going to leave you. If you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.